What is threatening Alberta's forests? That's today's news. Not much to look at, really, and taken in small numbers, these pine beetles are not much of a threat. The problem is, these guys don't do anything in small numbers. Literally, millions upon millions of these tiny beetles have been invading Alberta's pine forests. To determine where the beetles are hiding, a kind of scouting party is put together. 8 teams of forestry personnel visit some 240 sites across the province every spring.
Oh, there's some faders here, Jen. So there should be some red attack trees here. Yeah, there's 2 or 3. So those would have been attacked, and then beetles would have emerged into the green attack trees last summer. We can sample them. There's one tree right there. We'll be able to get a sample out of it. Should have some live beetles in it. The process is basically to get some samples from infested trees. So these trees here actually have beetles in them. They were attacked last year and the beetles are still in there and they haven't emerged yet. So what we do is we take some, call them cookies, so basically core samples or samples from the trees, and then from that we take them back to the office, peel back the bark, and we're able to calculate the number of live larvae versus dead larvae versus how many beetles went into that tree, and it basically goes into a statistical formula and gives us a relative value on how the beetles fared over the winter. So it doesn't specifically give us an actual percent mortality, but relative to all of the other sites that we sample, it tells us how well each particular area is doing that we sampled, and it's just a tool we use to help with our management strategies.
This seek and destroy approach is all about buying more time, as the natural life cycle of the beetle coming out of BC is starting to slow down. It's not until you start taking out the core samples from a tree that you can really see the damage these beetles can inflict.
Yeah, so we get some live larvae right in there. For example, this tree here, you can see the blue stain fungus has already infected the tree. This tree is already dying or dead. All of these infested trees are going to die, and then sometime between the middle of July, middle of August, the live larvae will pupate and turn into live adult beetles and emerge and look for new hosts. So what that means is for any uninfested green pines in this stand, that is obviously the next target for the beetles that come out. So what we do to prevent that is we take all of the sites that we know have mountain pine beetle in them and then strategically prioritize the stands and the sites, and then come in the wintertime and survey and then actually control them. Actually cutting down the tree and then burning it right on the stump, so it actually burns the live larvae that are underneath the bark.
While there are some natural predators that will feed on the mountain pine beetle, like woodpeckers, temperature is the only thing that will stop them cold.
The greatest factor for us is a very cold winter or cold snaps in the fall and springtime when the beetles are at their most susceptible to cold temperatures.
The monitoring program is vital. Twice now, the beetles have managed to fly above the forest canopy and ride on an air current to new locations, destroying not only timber for forestry, but critical habitat for wildlife and fish, not to mention recreational opportunities.